Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to MUFC versus Everybody. I am your host, Sean, and what a crazy 12 hours it has been. What a just surprising, shocking, but also like exciting 12 hours it's been for Manchester United fans, right? Obviously, if you've seen the thumbnail, we are here today just to give my reaction, my thoughts, and provide you all with the details of this breaking news popping out this morning. Literally woke up this morning and saw the news that Leny Yoro has agreed to join Manchester United. He is scheduled for his medical. He is on his way to Manchester right now with his family and his agent to do the medical, to sign the thing, get it over the line, and hopefully join up with the rest of the squad on the preseason tour as soon as possible. We'll dive deep into that, what transpired, what the details are, what that means for the rest of our transfer targets. But before we do get stuck in, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Go follow me on Twitter, MUFC versus Everybody, and let's get going, guys. So obviously I'm feeling a little better. I know 2 nights ago I did not sleep very well. So yesterday's video, probably a little loopy, probably a little tired, but definitely slept good last night. What a difference, it makes. Maybe that's the ticket, right? Maybe just sleep 4 hours one night and that's how you sleep well the next night. Maybe, I don't know. Science, you tell me. But yes, woke up this morning feeling refreshed, feeling good. Checked my phone real quick and boom, news. Online's going crazy, internet's going crazy, YouTube's going crazy, Twitter's going crazy. Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein hitting that 1-2 punch, the perfect storm of breaking news that we've booked a flight in the medicals for Leny Yoro. He is on his way to Manchester. He has apparently chosen to join Manchester United over Real Madrid. And it's insane. I never thought I would say that last part of a sentence about any player ever, right? Such and such has chosen to join United over Real Madrid. I mean, this feels like it's like 20 years ago. I don't know. That's insane though, right? We'll dive into a little bit of what it took to convince Yoro, but that's crazy. Madrid are pretty much guaranteed trophies, guaranteed Champions League these days. Anyway, you're working under Ancelotti, you've got quality star players around you. We've got great players in Manchester United, but right now, context, right, where we're at, where Madrid are at, nobody, and myself included, I'll hold my hands up and say, like, I did not expect Yoro to choose us over Real Madrid. I don't think anybody would have expected that. Obviously, we know that his dream was to go to Real Madrid. He had rejected some offers from PSG and Liverpool and everything because he was holding out for Real Madrid. Madrid made an offer. We outbid them. Our bid was accepted, and started talking about personal terms yesterday. Remember yesterday we came by with the news that we were close to agreeing to those personal terms with Yoro. So again, Yoro, his family, and his agent, George Mendes, are on their way to Manchester ready to finalize that deal. Danny B, good morning, man. Love from Boston. You're in Beantown, bro. Dude, I went to, I took a trip a long time ago to Falmouth. I'm sure you know where that is. And then went to the Vineyard, obviously, for a little bit. I wasn't too thrilled with Martha's Vineyard. I felt, and I'm not trying to diss it, it felt to me like if anyone's ever been to like Mackinac Island, it was very, very touristy. And that's not a diss because all of it is still fun. But Falmouth was nice. So I liked the dunes and everything. It was pretty cool. A lot of good food. But good morning, Danny. Good morning, everyone in the chat. So according to Fabrizio Romano, the price for that our bid was 50 million euros plus another 12 million in add-ons. So got to be careful when you're looking around at headlines and whatnot, especially from guys like Samuel Luckhurst. And what do I always call Samuel Luckhurst, guys? What's my name for him? Samuel Butthurst. That guy's got an axe to grind with United. But so Luckhurst is out here saying, "Oh, it's a 62 million, bid." With add-ons, that is what it could take to. And honestly, it's always one of those things. People did it with Rasmus Højlund too. It's a 72 million. Like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't anywhere near that. With add-ons, it could get to that. But honestly, if it does get to that total of a 62, all that means is that we've won stuff. And I don't think anyone's going to care at that point. But no, it's 50 million plus add-ons, over as they're achieved. So, which is really not that expensive these days when you consider the kind of prices people are paying right now. It's insane. Yoro's contract is set to run to 2029 with an option for the year. So again, possibly going up to 6 years. So David Ornstein wrote an article in The Athletic this morning that obviously restating that Yoro's preference was Real Madrid. But the Spanish Giants haven't really made any moves or even shown any sort of inclination that they were going to up their bid. They were going to push hard or anything since they put in their original bid weeks ago, which seems like it kind of helped him be convinced to join United over Madrid. It was kind of a contributing factor to that. The plan is to finalize the last details today, as Yoro and his family and his agent are in Manchester working things out, taking that medical, and hopefully even get him to the U.S., like I said, to join up with the rest of the squad. And that was kind of backed up by Santi J on Twitter, who's saying that's the plan, trying to get things done quickly and get him out on tour. I don't know why. Maybe you guys feel the same way. I don't know why, but part of me is still like worried that Madrid are going to swoop back in. I know that there were some talks yesterday that they were maybe less inclined to spend big on Yoro because of David Alaba kind of getting back fit. Nacho's gone. Alaba is a bit injury prone. Rudiger is getting a bit on in age. Militao is pretty much injured all the time. They don't have a ton of center backs, Real Madrid. And so I thought, and my buddy's a huge Real Madrid fan, and we've been talking about it all season. Like, they need pretty much a complete defensive overhaul. I think that the Kylian Mbappe signing is killing their finances, though. Yeah, he's free, but Kylian Mbappe is probably making so much money at Real Madrid. I'm talking that Gareth Bale, Ronaldo level money, like $600,000-700K a week. So it's a bit interesting. And, Madrid are still, they just have only had Bellingham for a season. They're paying him a lot. They've got a lot of expensive stuff going on in Madrid. So maybe they literally just can't afford any more big signings. I don't know. But with the state of their defense right now, Carvajal's getting on. Ferland Mendy's really not that great. And then, like I've listed, some of their center backs are older or they're injury prone. I feel like a really good center back is really what Real Madrid needed. But obviously we need that too. I've done a deep dive video on Leny Yoro, why United are interested in him. If you guys haven't yet watched that, go check that out. Maybe after this video is done, I'll throw the link to that video in the description so you guys can go and check that out. But yeah, it talks about, his career so far. Obviously, he's not been playing that long. His numbers, his player profile, what he could offer, things like that. So go check that out. But again, some of me is still doubting that this is going to happen. I don't know why. maybe that I'm not like saying I don't believe it, right? I'm not saying like, it's lies, Romano's lying, or Ornstein's lying. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I think that just because I've been conditioned, right, to just the sheer incompetence and the shambles of United's transfer business over the last decade, combined with, again, the pull of Real Madrid guaranteed trophies, maybe that's what's contributing. I'm just used to us just wasting time on players. I don't know. We spent how many summer transfer windows chasing players only either to miss out or to just only bring them in August after trying to bargain for 2 months, and we overpay still. Like, part of me is just experience, right? Experience is what's giving me this skepticism. But let me know what you think. Am I crazy to be worried? Am I not? Do you guys feel 100% confident? I don't know. So what does this mean for Jared Branthwaite, Matthias de Ligt? What does it mean for our center backs? Remember, we spoke a little bit yesterday that United ideally, and Erik ten Hag ideally, would like to bring in 2 center backs on top, Yoro and somebody else. We're chasing de Ligt a little bit. That's gone a little quiet recently. Sounds like de Ligt only wants United and is willing to take a pay cut, but that's gone quiet. We put in a couple bids for Branthwaite, which Everton turned down because they're holding out for crazy, stupid money. And we are apparently still interested for some reason. I don't know. But Plettigol is reporting that we're not willing to spend what Bayern want regarding Matthias de Ligt. Bayern are holding out for 42 million plus add-ons, which we just don't want to spend. Ornstein adds too that, we're still interested in de Ligt and Branthwaite, but we need to sell players to get them. And obviously people need to remind themselves that we are skint due to FFP, PSR regulations. Obviously the new financial year started a little over 2 weeks ago, but we still have a lot of stuff we have to get done. Mason Greenwood looks like he's on his way to Marseille, so that's a good chunk of change. Fulham want Scott McTominay. Galatasaray want Scott McTominay. There's talks that we might be signing him on a new contract. Who knows what's going on there? Some people want to sell McTominay. That's another chunk of change. And between that and Greenwood, that's all profit. Who knows? Danny B, what's he saying? I still think we get De Ligt and possibly a fullback. We need a fullback. I really hope that we're not watching Luke Shaw in these last match of the Euros and we're like, see, we're good. I hope we're not looking at Malacia in these photos of the new kid in training saying, see, we're good. Malacia has been gone all year. He'll probably take a little bit to recover. And even when he is back, I would not be surprised to see some sort of calf, hamstring, whatever the issue was. I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of follow-up injury. We saw it with Lisandro Martinez. We saw it with a little bit with Casemiro. When you're out for so long and then you jump right back in, you will pick up some sort of muscle strain or something. It's just, that's going to happen just because of the lack of use, the lack of match fitness and whatnot. And so we can't put all our chickens in the basket of the left back or all that we have right now. It's just not going to work. We need something. And I think we're looking at Cardiolu. The good thing about Cardiolu is he plays left back, but he is mainly right-footed. He can do both, but he's also really good with his right foot. And so he could offer cover on the right if we need to as well. So he could play either side. If we're thinking about selling Wan-Bissaka, he could be cover for both sides. We wouldn't have to sign two positions. We could sign one who could play two positions. Who knows? But we'll see. I do think, obviously, like I said, it sounds like we still want to bring in De Ligt and or Branthwaite as well on top of signing Leny Yoro. Again, like I said the other day, though, like I've said for a few months now, I don't know financially how possible that is. So again, and even, that's being backed up by David Ornstein, that we have to sell players to make that happen. If we made profit on players, though, would another center back be the priority, or should we, look at fullback and like a midfielder, like an Ugarte, get that deal over the line? If we sell Mason Greenwood, that money is pure profit. Throw that at Ugarte and make that thing happen is what I would like. So I got to be honest, I don't recognize my club right now. And I say that in the best, most positive way possible, right? I'm not trying to get too excited or naive or hype everybody up. I'm not trying to, do anything like that. I'm not trying to sit here and say, hey, 21 is coming. But compare what we're doing this summer so far, just in the last week, to the way we've behaved in the transfer market over the last decade or so. And it's night and day difference. We're getting deals done early. We're working on multiple deals at a time. We're beating Madrid and Liverpool to players like Yoro. We're walking away from deals that are too expensive rather than haggling all summer, only to pay the full asking price, after the season has already started and we're pretty much bent over a barrel. It's almost as if having qualified people involved in these situations makes a difference, right? Who knew? You'll notice, though, I didn't list not paying crazy wages in my list, though, because apparently we have offered Yoro around $112K a week plus bonuses, and that's coming from Pletigol. That's a big jump from what he's earning at Lille, or I think he's on like $6K a week at Lille. So that is like almost 200% of what he's making at Lille, which 200%, when you give it in a proportion, that sounds a lot different than giving it in raw numbers. You always have to be careful when you're reading things like that. When people go from listing raw numbers to like proportion or ratios, like percentages, they usually do that with an agenda in mind. But that is a big jump. That is a lot of money to pay for a young player without a whole lot of experience. And while it's not a lot of money in general footballing terms for like a player, a center back, a quality like what it is like, compare it to some of our other squad. It's more than Diogo Dalot makes. It's more than Scott McTominay makes. It's more than what Alejandro Garnacho makes. It's a lot. And so what does that mean for these other guys? Are they going to come knocking on the door soon, try to get, a new contract signed? Are they going to demand higher wages? I know McTominay hasn't had a new contract in a while. Dalot, is, like I said, is on less than that. Who knows? Maybe this is the problem you get when you sign a new player and you're paying them a lot of money. You've all of a sudden got these players who've been at the club for a while who are like, wait a second, I've been doing this for a minute. Garnacho has been performing. McTominay, say what you want about McTominay, he contributed a lot of goals last season. He saved us a lot of times last season, and he never, ever does it, like, stops giving 110%. So I think this is a make or break summer for McTominay. Either he's going to get a new contract, which we mentioned might happen, or he's going to get sold, and that's going to be all profit. But, well, there will be players who are going to want their agents to take a look at the contract and the terms and maybe try to get a raise. And that's just the risk you take sometimes when you sell new players and you pay them a lot. So, but what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on the breaking news this morning that Leny Yoro is on his way to Manchester? He's set for the medical, set to finalize personal terms, and he's agreed to join Manchester United after rejecting Real Madrid. What do you think of the fee we're paying for him? 50 million plus 12 million in add-ons, possibly jumping it up to 62 million, 5-year deal plus 1. What do you think of the wages? 112K a week, huge jump from 6K he was on at Lille. What are your thoughts? That's a striker now that we've signed in Xerxes. That's a center back now. We've signed in Leny Yoro, one of the best young up-and-coming, talents in his position in football right now. What do you think will be the next positions we target? Midfielder, Danny B's thinking we need to still get De Ligt and a fullback. I agree we need to get a fullback for sure. I wouldn't say no to De Ligt. I wouldn't say no to another center back. But again, we've got Lindelof, Maguire still on the books. Johnny Evans is on a new 1-year deal. Camboila's gone. Varane's gone. So we got Martinez, Maguire, Lindelof, Yoro. That's 4. Johnny Evans, that's 5. Lindelof or Maguire's got to go. A lot of people are probably going to say we need to sell both. If we do sell both, I do probably think we'll bring in De Ligt. How is all that going to work? Who knows? CDM in, Casemiro out, says Danny B. Casemiro's wages are going to be a sticking point. I know some Saudi clubs are interested in him. Saudi clubs are also obviously getting a big boost this summer. So we'll see. Ideally, yeah, we would sell Casemiro. We're not going to get what we paid for him. That just is what it is. But, he's on some hefty wages. Yeah, it would be nice to maybe, move Casemiro on. I think the preseason was a bit of a shop window moment. We almost killed it with that stupid challenge from that Rosenborg player that honestly, I know it's preseason friendly and no one wants to see players get carded to send it off. But come on, that was a red card challenge on Casemiro early on in that friendly the other day. That guy went in, studs up, caught him high on the knee. Like that in any game of football, that is a red card challenge. I don't care if that were the other way around and that was Casemiro doing that, he would have been sent off immediately. And that I'm right when I say that. Danny B, would you keep Amrabat, Sean? Depends. It depends. Would I keep him and not sign Ugarte? No. Would I keep him if we sold McTominay? Yes. Would I keep him if we signed Ugarte and kept McTominay? Probably not, because I just feel like he's not going to play. But it is. I think it just depends on what we do with Ugarte and what we do with McTominay. I don't have a problem with Amrabat. Is he good enough probably to start week in, week out? Probably not. If I'm being honest, and that's not me saying he's bad. It's just that there's a level that you'd want, and you have to look at it does he improve our starting 11? Let's say we sign Ugarte, Manu, Mount. Would you start Amrabat over Manu or Ugarte? Probably not. Would you start him over McTominay? Probably, but that's, again, only if we don't sign Ugarte, maybe. I don't think I would have wanted us to pay the 20 million after we already paid the loan fee, letting that loan expire and then maybe going in and negotiating. If we sell McTominay is not the worst idea in the world. But then, Amrabat's 27, 28 as well. So you're paying however much for a player for another couple of years. So would you keep Amrabat? What would you do with Ugarte, McTominay, and Amrabat? KD, yeah. What's up, my friend? KD, yes. Yoro, man, that's crazy, right? Danny B says that Knife Pancake looks good for Rosenborg. We've been linked with him for a while. Yeah, I remember I mentioned him in a video a while back. Yeah, when we were linked with him. Everybody in Rosenborg looked decent compared to United on Monday just because they are literally in the middle of their season. Those are their first team players. Yeah, the level of the Norwegian league is not the same, right? But they're still they're match fit and we're not. And we play a lot of teenagers. So I think yesterday on Monday it was probably super easy for everybody to look good against us. I probably could have jumped out there and looked a little more fit. Joking. But yeah, Naipan, like promising. Remember, that was during like a month or two ago when we were linked with pretty much every 16-year-old under the sun. I can't even remember all of them right now, but yeah. If McTominay and Cass go, I would keep Amrabat 8 to 10. Yeah, not 8 to 10 mil, not bad. Yeah, that's what Danny V's saying. Yeah, like I said, if both of them are sold and we get in Ugarte, I would definitely unique because again, like I've said yesterday when we were linked on Galatasaray, that interest came. We sell McTominay, we have to replace McTominay. Like whether that's with Amrabat or what. I don't think Collier is ready for the first team. We have to replace him though. I don't know if that's Amrabat. Getting him for like 8 to 10 million, like that, that's half of what that buy clause was in the loan that we included. So maybe there's a reason we let that loan expire without activating that clause. Maybe we think we can go in and negotiate it. And that's what I said when I reported that news that the loan is set to expire at the end of last month. Yeah, if Cass goes and McTominay both go, yeah, we need Ugarte and probably we could do Amrabat. And getting both of them for like a combined maybe 45 to 50 mil tops is not bad business, honestly. Especially, again, if you're losing McTominay, who's all profit. Really, you're paying an extra, 10, 15 million at that point. So not a bad bit of business, in my opinion. But it's not my money, so I'm not going to be like Liverpool fans today who are all butthurt and saying like, "Oh, I'm glad we didn't spend that money on Yoro after on such a young kid." We've got who's the young guy coming in that's a little Virgil van Dijk regen. I forget his name already. Cool. It's always easy to say you're glad you're not doing something after you've been rejected, after you miss out, but it is what it is. It's not your money, so I don't know why they're so focused. If I were them, I'd be more concerned that their owners aren't spending a bit of money. Although it's not like their owners don't spend money. Liverpool literally bought a whole 4 midfielders last summer. They've spent the last 2 January transfer windows buying first-team players as well. So let's not pretend like they don't spend money, and let's not pretend like they don't waste their money. Again, can anyone tell me how many matches Thiago Alcantara played for Liverpool? Can anyone tell me where Minamino is right now? How about Naby Keita? How many matches did that guy play for Liverpool? But Naby Keita doesn't count. None of these guys count because they're still using the Philip Coutinho money. So, again, none of it counts, right? If you talk to Liverpool fans, man, I'm telling you. You win a Champions League and then you just walk around like your shit doesn't stink, man. Like, they peaked in 2019. It's been all downhill since then. Like, let's be honest. Klopp did in his final season. Supposedly, this great manager did in his final season with this squad that what Ten Hag did in his very first season in this Premier League. 3rd in the Carabao Cup. But when Liverpool does it, when Klopp does it, it's a brilliant send-off. But when Ten Hag does it, it doesn't count, right? So I'm not racist, but I am against Scousers. So let's be honest. They're not. At least they're not Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans are the most insufferable fan base I've ever seen in my life, hands down. Does not matter who you are, and I'm not taking a personal dig at anybody on Arsenal, like at AFTV or anything. Like, the guys are funny. It is what it is. But their entire fan base is just, gosh, and Newcastle are getting up there for me. Newcastle fans sitting here bantering the money that they said that we paid for Dan Ashworth when it came out. Was that yesterday that who was that came out with that? Was that Ornstein who talked about that yesterday? I can't remember. Let me know. Or maybe it was Laurie Whitwell. The compensation we paid them for Ashworth is pretty much what they paid Brighton for him a couple years ago. So you can't write this stuff. Danny B's laughing. I mean, am I wrong when it comes to Liverpool? Am I wrong when it comes to that? I'm not wrong, right? What do you think? What do you think's next? It's only Wednesday. A lot of the week left to go. We've got another preseason friendly coming up this weekend. So I will be watching that. I will be giving my brief thoughts on that. Again, don't read too much into preseason friendlies. It's about fitness. It's about getting a look at some youngsters. It's about new signing, kind of getting gelled in with the squad a little bit. It's not about tactics. It's not about wins necessarily. It is, and Ten Hag's going to say that because he has to. He's Manchester United manager, but let's not read too much into it. All right. You remember, like, guys like Mourinho and Van Gaal didn't even like the preseason tours. They thought it was unnecessary to be flying all around the world. They thought it was too much strain, too many matches. So I'll watch it, and I'll give my thoughts and I'll watch these young players, but I'm not going to be super frustrated if we don't win. I watch it looking at these players, and I watch it hoping that no one picks up an injury like Manu did. I'm sure, like, you remember Jurrien Timber got injured in the preseason last year for Arsenal and missed pretty much the whole season. So, KD, we should have been rooting for Arsenal to win the league, but the whole world can't stand that insufferable fan base. I mean, Arsenal fans aren't ready to have that awkward conversation about Mikel Arteta. All right. He came in his first season, got an FA Cup, and literally hasn't done anything since. Eighth, fifth, bottom of the league again. Like, if this were literally, and this is how you know that Arsenal aren't a big club, because if that were Manchester United, it would be all over the news about how he needs to get sacked and stuff. I mean, Ten Hag won the FA Cup. Yeah, we finished 8th, but he won the FA Cup, and literally talking to him after the match, stupid ass Alan Shearer is talking all this bullshit. And I'm glad that Ten Hag is not happening. I'm glad that Ten Hag is finally like, you know what, you guys suck. Like, shut up. We just won a trophy. What the hell have you done, Alan Shearer? Go fuck off. Sorry, it's early morning. Coffee is getting me all riled up, but the kind of crap that Manchester United managers have to put up with from the English media, who literally had their childhoods ruined by us and Fergie. It's funny. You can laugh at it, right? As you know, we can laugh at it, but again, it's just transparent as hell. Just the way they try to bait and trap and bash and spin everything they can to make Manchester United and our managers look bad. And like, it almost feels like it's exponentially worse with Erik ten Hag because of how successful he's been so far. Brilliant win percentage compared to other United managers. Brilliant win percentage in his first 2 seasons compared to other top managers who joined this league, like Klopp, like Arteta, like Guardiola. You know what he's done in his first 2 seasons: 3 finals, 2 trophies. Like, he's a good manager. I think people need to chill out a little bit. I said, and not on here because obviously I didn't have the channel at that point, but I told people after watching Ajax, after watching Ten Hag, and based on what we saw in Louis van Gaal, what you're going to get with a lot of Dutch managers is system over player when it comes to signings and whatnot. And you're not going to get a whole lot of big win margins. You're going to get a lot of 1-0 victories, 2-1 victories. You're probably going to get a lot of 1-1s just because that's typically, and I'm not trying to stereotype or anything, it's typically what you get from like Dutch managers. It's very careful, very high percentage pass versus like low percentage, like Hollywood Pauls and stuff. And it's getting into the best position to get a shot up rather than just taking pot shots for no reason. Then to be 100% Sean. Yeah, what am I keeping it 100 about, man? I said a lot of stuff there. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on Yoro? What do you guys think we're going to do next? Danny B still thinks we need to lit and a left back. I still obviously would love to sign all the players in the world. I don't financially though. We're kind of restrained a little bit. I do think we need to prioritize that midfield next. And Danny B agrees, said, we need to sell Cass. I would bring in Ugarte in a heartbeat. I think that 38 million that PSG want is a snip. I think that is a no-brainer. Go and grab him. Keep McTominay if you want. Sell McTominay if you want. I don't have a problem with keeping Amrabat if that's the case. If we lose Cass and McTominay, obviously, like I said, we need to replace McTominay. But I will leave that live chat open for a few more minutes. Let me just check and see if any other details are popping out on this Euro thing, if anything else has been announced at all. Let me know your thoughts and questions in the comments. The Here We Go is expected today, by the way, so we will see probably a little later on. If that does happen, if we do get that Here We Go, if we do get the official club announcement regarding Leny Yoro, I will pop back up just to, give it the old confirmation, get everyone's thoughts. And it's crazy how mad we're moving this summer, right? Just INEOS are just not wasting time. Everybody's getting to work. Barada's back to work. Ashworth is back to work. Wilcox is doing his thing. Everybody is just Vivel, obviously, doing his thing. We're just getting it done. And so Yoro is good on paper, right? He's a young player. Even if he still wants to go to Madrid are going to have to pay, at least what we paid for him if they want him in a couple of years and if he wants to move. This does kind of feel a little bit like the Ronaldo situation. Remember a while ago, obviously we signed him when he was young, and then had him 5-6 years, and then wanted to go to Madrid. So I think I wouldn't surprise me in any case if in 2, 3, 4 years Yoro does, and he's still only going to be in his 2021 at that time. So it's crazy how good he is for such a young player. Trying to remember what I was doing at 17 years old. I was probably chilling in my room playing video games with my buddies. Honestly, what were you guys doing when you were 17, man? Yikes. But in any case, Yoro is on his way to Manchester. He's doing his medical. He's finalizing the deals, and he could be announced later on today officially. Exciting news. We'll see what happens with De Ligt, Branthwaite. We'll see what we do next in the transfer window. Short one today, but just wanted to pop by and announce that because it's what I woke up to this morning. So glad you guys stopped by today. Thank you, everybody who got involved in the live chat. Danny B, KD, love the support, love the engagement. You guys are always representing. Appreciate that. And I will see you guys a little later on. Please don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new. KD, wrapping up things. I'm hoping for De Ligt over Jared. Yeah, I think I like De Ligt. If I had to choose, I'd probably choose De Ligt over Branthwaite because of price. But again, De Ligt's knee injuries in the last couple of years are a bit worrisome. So I'm not too upset that we went for Yoro over De Ligt first. But we'll see. I think that if we had signed De Ligt, I'd probably be a little bit more concerned without that we are not signing another defender. Signing Yoro, I'm not as concerned if it's the injuries to De Ligt. Like if we signed De Ligt without signing anybody else and he picks up another cruciate leg injury, we're right back to square one. Kind of like when Arsenal signed Timber. They signed him and then he picked up that ACL and they didn't have him all year. So it's hard to miss something you haven't actually had, but at the same time, that was a big signing for them and they couldn't do anything else about it. So we'll see what happens. That is going to do it for me today, guys. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and don't forget to keep an eye out for announcements later today regarding Yoro. If that happens, I will be back, but I appreciate the love, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.